Good morning, everybody. So in today's lecture, we are going to understand how to implement any combinational logic function using multiplexers. So let's first understand what are multiplexers. We know that multiplexers, they are nothing but they are data selectors, which are which select any of the n inputs depending upon what are the select lines. So the three primary things which are required in a multiplexer are there are n input lines, there is one output. That is why it is always referred to as n:1 multiplexer. Okay. So if there are two input lines, it means there will be one output. Okay. And any of the two input has to be selected so that it can be connected to the output, and output will simply pass on whatever is the logic level at the input further. Okay. So it is just like it is a kind of, you can say that two paths, let's say it is a 2:1 multiplexer. So two paths are there coming to a common destination. So what path we are following, we are just going to highlight that, or we are going to talk about, or we are going to trace that path. That's it. Okay. Now what decides what is to be selected? So that selection process that calls for another functionality which has to be included in multiplexers, and that is what select lines are required to do. So select lines, they are going to choose that what input is going to be routed or going to be connected to the output. Okay. So if there are two select lines, मतलब अगर कहीं जाने के दो रास्ते हैं, ठीक है, for reaching a destination, so I have to choose one. अब वो चूज करना कैसे है, वो select line का काम है, ठीक है. So अगर दो paths में से चूज करना है तो मेरे को binary logic पे based एक ही select line चाहिए. अगर वो 0 होगी तो मैं फर्स्ट वाला पाथ चूज करूंगी, अगर मेरी वो 1 होगी तो सेकंड वाला पाथ आई विल चूज. So I can say that basic structure of your multiplexer is n:1 multiplexer with m select lines. Okay, such that your it is going to be 2 raised to power m is equal to n. So here it is written other way out. So m data inputs are there, n control inputs. So either ways you can say 2 raised to power the number of select lines or the control lines, that gives you the total number of possible combinations at the input. So if we are having one select line, 2 raised to power 1 gives 2. So it means it will be 2:1 multiplexer. If we say two select lines, 2 raised to power 2 will give me 4 possible combinations. That means it will be 4:1 multiplexer. If it is number of control lines or the select lines is 3, then it means it is going to be 2 raised to power 3, that is 8, 8:1 multiplexer. So we have to understand this, that multiplexer, it is going to choose any one select line, any one input based on what is the status of the select line. Now let's try to first understand this. So I will just sum up what we have understood. So I'll just try to sum up what we have understood till now. So n:1 multiplexer, that means I'm going to have n inputs and correspondingly there are m control lines and there is one output. Okay, so this will be forming n:1 multiplexer. So we can write MUX as the short form of this, and the relationship between the select lines and the control lines is this. Okay, now what is the combinational logic behind this? So what is the logic behind this? So to understand the logic, I will just take example of a 2:1 multiplexer. So consider we are having a 2:1 multiplexer. So it means two inputs are there and one output is there. So we very well understand. Let that input be labeled as I0 and I1. Now we know this relationship. Now we know that n is 2. So the value of m has to be 1 because 2 raised to power 1 is 2 only. So it means I need one select line here. So let that select line be S dot. अब इसका combinational logic क्या है? इसका what is the logic which is going to drive this? So let's get to that. So for that, we just try to understand it from the functional point of view or the functionality. Now it says that when S0 is equal to 0, Y is equal to I0. And when S0 is 1, your output Y is routed or connected to input I1. So if I combine these two statements, I can say that my output is either I0 or I1, depending upon the value of S0. So I can say if it is S0 bar, that is 0, then output is going to be this. Then the output is going to be, if S0 is 1, so I can combine these two above statements in this form. So this automatically, it is the same thing when S0 is 0. इसका मतलब अगर S0 0 है तो ये वाला टर्म आपका 0 हो जाएगा, तो I1 is not selected, but S0 bar complement will be 1 into I0, which is equal to I0, will be selected. But when S0 is 1, then S0 bar is going to be 0. So I0 is not selected, but this term, that is the second term containing I1, that will be 1 into I1. So my Y is going to be equal to I1. So this is the logic which is defining it. So this is also known as the functional form of this, and it helps us to derive the combinatorial logic behind it. So I can say that if we go for the gate equivalent for a 2:1 multiplexer, I simply know that output is equal to S0 into S0 bar, S0 into I1. So if I draw my gate logic or the gate equivalent, it is simply that I have input S0, I have I0, okay. Okay. So this is the gate equivalent. So if we go for the CMOS equivalent of this, we have already talked about it. So for inverter, I need how many gates? If I'm talking about implementing using the gate equivalent using CMOS. So I will require 2 transistors for this. Now this is, CMOS is always implementing the inverted logic. So I will require an AND here. Okay. This is also inverted. This is also inverted. So this is equivalent to NAND only. So this 2 input AND gate, that is going to require 4. That is going to require 4. So you can see we've already talked about this. Okay. And so transmission gate implementation is the normal preferred way of implementing the multiplexers. So now let's try to see how we can use these multiplexers for implementing any functional combinational logic, any combinational function. So this is the functional form, which we have already seen, and this is the logical form. So logically, it means that your input I0, I1, they can be 0, 0, they can be 0, 1, they can be 1, 0, 1, 1, and the status of the output will depend upon what is the select line. So if S0 is 1 and both the inputs is 0, the output will be 0 when S0 is equal to 0, and when it is 1 again, it is going to be 0 because both the inputs are 0. So that is the logical form or the complete, you can say expanded to table of that. Otherwise, this is sufficient to give you the idea of what is the functionality and how to implement it using a combinational logic. Okay, so these are the different implementations of a 2:1 multiplexer, 4:1 multiplexer, 8:1, and so on. So this is what I was talking about. So this is the gate level implementation. So if we talk about the CMOS, we are going to, CMOS is always inverted logic. So I need to have inversion here at each. So inversion means, and you know, 2 input NAND gates, they are going to require 4 transistors, 2 PMOS, 2 NMOS. Each inverter is going to require 2. So that is going to cost you 36 transistors. But if you use transmission gates, that would be much less area intensive with only 20 transistors. Okay. So now we come to how we are going to design or use multiplexers for implementing any combination functions. Now there are 2 approaches to that. Either we can use any large multiplexer depending upon how many input multiplexer is needed for implementing any combinational function, or we can make it using the mux trees. Mux trees क्या होते हैं? Mux trees क्या होते हैं कि जब हमारा जब multiplexer बहुत बड़ा हो जाता है तो it will occupy more space and maybe we do not require all the input lines. So what we can do is we can make use of the smaller multiplexers which can be together, tied together, or which can be connected together to form the functionality of a large multiplexer, as well as you can implement any logic. Let's say if it is a 3 variable function, I can implement it using only a 4:1 multiplexer instead of 8. So let's try to understand this concept, okay, with the help of one example. Now let's say consider any function. Let's say there is a function which is consisting of the terms, let's say 0, 1, 3, and 7. So it is min terms M0, M1. So I considered it in a SOP form. That is how we can conveniently use the multiplexers for that. Okay. So first of all, let's determine how many variables are needed for representing that. Now the highest term, what we are requiring here is 7. And for binary value 7, we represent it using the 3 binary variables. So 0 to 7 combinations are the 8 input combinations which have to be represented. So n is going to be 8. So it means I require directly 1 n:1 multiplexer. Okay. So the simple thing is I require it is to 1 multiplexer. So it is M0, M1. Corresponding to that, I am just writing M5, M6, and M7. So this is extra. Okay. And I have one output. So 3 variables are required for representing these combinations. So M in this case is going to be 3. So I have 3 select lines. Okay. So you have to be careful how you're writing your select line. What is your S dot? What is going to get mapped to your? So be very careful in that. You need to understand this because this is your truth table. So A is here your MSP. So MSP is represented as the last select line and your first one select line is your LSP. So see, so you have to be very careful on this when you're going to connect it. So we write all the possible combinations which are there. Okay, and this is the output. Where? Okay, so I know that my output is going high for the midterms, which are corresponding to the input combination of, sorry. So this is my output. So it is going high. Okay, and write the output in a different color. So it is going high for 1, 1, then M3. So it is 0 in the last step as well. So how do I implement it? For implementing it by the multiplexer of the same order as the number of possible combinations or the number of select lines. On that basis, it is simple. The terms corresponding to which the output is high, they are connected to the logic level 1. So M0, M1, M3 and M7 terms, they're connected to high, whereas all the other inputs, they are tied together and connected to ground, or you can say logic 0. Okay, so this is the simple implementation using the multiplexer of the same order as the number of variables required. Okay, but we, as I told you, we can always make use of the smaller order multiplexers for doing that. So using that smaller order multiplexers, let's say I make use of a 4:1 multiplexer for this. So how do we do that for a 4:1 multiplexer? So I know I'm going to use a 4:1 multiplexer, but then what is the logic which is going to define that? So for defining that logic, let's redraw that. So what we can do is, here we are going to divide a truth table. In any one variable we can divide. Normally it is the LSB or the MSB, either you can choose. So in this case, we're going to choose C variable as the MSB. So I will try to, because see, I now want to reduce my number of variables from 3 to 2 because 8:1 multiplexer is having 3 select lines. So 3 variables are required to represent 8 combinations. But for 4:1 multiplexer, I need only 2 variables. So I have to reduce my logic in one variable. That can be either MSB or LSB. Conveniently, we can choose either. So here we are taking the example of using the LSB. So I simply try to express the logic here. So I can just see I divide it into two things. So first window is when A and B both are 0, 0. So now I see what is my output. So when A is 0 and B is 0, irrespective of the status of C, which is reflected in the first two rows, I see my output is going to be 1. So I see here that my output is not affected by the status of C. So whenever A and B, they are 0, output has to be 1. Similarly, I go to the next two rows of my table, which represent the value of AB as A bar B. So again, I try to relate it with my least variable, least significant this bit, that is C, and try to relate that whenever C is 0, output is 0. When C is 1, output is 1. So it means C's output is same as what is the value of C's. So I can say that I can represent this combination output by C. Similarly, for the next two rows, which are representing the value of by select lines or my control lines as AB, input lines as AB bar, again output is going to be 0 irrespective of the status of C. So I put C here for both the rows, and finally for the last two rows, it is going to be C. So simply corresponding to each, I can just connect whatever is be my finding here. So A bar B bar output is 1, so I connected to logic 1. A bar B, it is C, so I connected to C. A B bar, it is output is always going to be 0. So this, and for AB, it is again C. Now select lines in this case, they are going to be AB. I've missed it here, so you can just put it. Select lines are A and B here. So this is how we can implement any logic function using the lower order multiplexer. Okay. So we can still reduce the order. We can represent the same logic using 2:1 multiplexer also. So we will see that in the next video, in which we are going to implement the full adder using 8:1 multiplexer, 4:1 multiplexer, and a 2:1 multiplexer. So thank you so much.